name's Steve Brodie and I'm the Open Innovation Manager here at NewSouth Innovations at the University of New South Wales in Sydney.
My name is Melissa Ran. I work at the Student Entrepreneur Development Team at NewSouth Innovations in UNSW.
NewSouth Innovations is the technology transfer company of the university, owned by the university. And our job is really quite simple. It's to take research outputs from our researchers and get those outputs used in the world. And it's as simple as that. We don't do publishing, we don't do raw teaching into students' heads directly. We do the other work, taking the ideas and getting them used in industry and society, really.
I guess what we do is we want to encourage UNSW students to be the next generation of entrepreneurs. So we recognize that what students learn at university, in the academia, in the books, doesn't necessarily help them become entrepreneurs and develop their own business. So we have a lot of different services to try to guide students, to give them free support and free resources to the networks, to mentors and to potential investors and government support programs. The whole suite of networks available for them to make, I guess, the process of starting a business easier for them.
So one of the most exciting things we've been doing here at NewSouth Innovations is reaching out to a network of mentors. And we've now over 100 mentors that are helping our teams of students developing business ideas. And it's really great to see these mentors enjoying giving back to our students. It's real fun and the students love it and they're getting so much value from it as well. It's fantastic. Looking at our student population and looking at entrepreneurial skills for students who are not going to start companies, we know that the majority of students that leave university are probably not going to start their own company, but nevertheless the skills that they learn about entrepreneurship are useful in industry. And we've launched a program called Intrapreneurship to help those students accelerate their careers. And we know on the other side of the equation that companies are really interested in students who can see innovation opportunities, who can evaluate them, explore them and validate them, and that can gather resources together to really make a difference inside organisations. So this university is really leading the way in intrapreneurship education for some of our 50,000 students.
One of the programs that we run in conjunction with the services that we provide students is the UNSW Startup Games. So the concept of this game is to get students from all faculties, get that diverse skills and diverse perspectives, get together. They've never met each other before, complete strangers, to go from no idea at all to brainstorming ideas, picking an idea, validating the idea, changing the idea, and then building a minimum viable product. And then at the end of 1 month of intense workshops, they pitch to a room full of Sydney's, I guess, premier investors and other successful entrepreneurs, and we pick a winner. And this year the program is supported by Google and by Elance, so they will be receiving prizes from those two companies. And I guess it's a very fun way for students to really intensely learn exactly what it takes to be an entrepreneur. We have had quite a few success stories at a startup level anyway, because we've only been around for 18 months. So we have had students who, so one example is the social enterprise called Conscious Step. So they sell colorful, fashionable socks that also goes to support charities. So each different sock solves a Millennium World Goal by the UN. And so for them, they were able to get crowdfunding on Indiegogo. So they raised almost $30,000. And so with that, they were able to actually ship their first shipments and have a lot of customers all over the world supporting and backing a project. They also, with their concept, won the business plan competition at UNSW called the Peter Farrell Cup. So they won $5,000 from that as well. So that's just one of our success stories. We're also helping another student. They're working on, I guess it's a logistics application that helps companies move their food wastage easier so that they can get to food aid companies, I guess food aid organizations called Food Bank Local. So they won the Microsoft Imagine Cup, and they've also got quite a lot of investor interest, and they also lined up a partnership with one of Australia's major supermarket chains to test their software. And then we also have a whole bunch of other companies who has been able to get government grants. So we have two companies that got the New South Wales Innovation grant for $15,000 each. And other companies has been able to privately get investors on board and other partners on board. So certainly even within 18 months, we've seen students through from nothing all the way to getting, significant traction, we would say.
One of the things about the Sydney startup movement right now, it's really taken off the last 3 or 4 years. There's been a big move. There's been a lot of new business incubators and accelerators, a lot of companies coming into there from universities, but from all across the community. But one of the interesting things is that people outside of Australia are starting to look at the community here and see that there are smart, well-educated people, great place to be, and they're coming in here to support that. A good example would be Coca-Cola, who recently launched an innovation incubator, a corporate innovation incubator. They launched it in Sydney. It's a physical thing and a virtual thing. But this is the first place in the world they've ever done that, even ahead of San Francisco and the States. They've chosen Sydney because it's hot right now. So it's a really interesting thing. And the other side of the thing is that as you're starting businesses over in Sydney here, you think global from day one. Sydney's a long way from anywhere, and the Australian local market is small. It's about 2% of anything. So all the companies we're working on and we're encouraging the entrepreneurs to think globally from day one. And that might mean moving across at some point, but nevertheless, think about it. The VC industry is not very large. It does exist, but it tends to fund at low levels, possibly Series A, a little bit of pre-seed or seed, but certainly not large amounts. We're talking a few $1 million maximum. So what we've noticed recently in Australia is that some of the larger West Coast VCs are coming over and having a good look around Australia, looking for those big opportunities and investing in. And we're seeing some large investments coming in now, which is quite cool. One of the things that is happening though that's really interesting and exciting is that the business angel networks are starting to take off, and they're starting to get a bit more professional and a bit more coordinated. We have a national industry association for angels, and we have hubs in each of the major cities. So reaching out to them is becoming a lot easier than it used to be. But it's fair to say though that if you want a larger Series A or a Series B onwards, you've got to go overseas at the moment. So it's tricky.